What if one leaf, a single, unassuming leaf you have probably seen and ignored 1,000 times, held the power to help your body systematically dismantle three of the most feared and pervasive health issues of our time? It sounds like the stuff of fiction, but I assure you, what we are about to uncover is grounded in profound biological truth. I'm talking about that relentless, stubborn high blood sugar that holds your energy and mood hostage. I'm talking about the silent, dangerous arterial plaque that stiffens the very highways of life within you. And I'm talking about that deep, visceral belly fat that seems to cling on, no matter what you do, a constant and frustrating reminder that something is deeply out of balance. The science behind this is truly shocking, not because it's new, but because it's been hidden in plain sight for centuries, woven into the very fabric of the natural world. It's a testament to the fact that nature often holds the most elegant solutions to our most complex problems, waiting patiently for us to turn our attention away from the noise of the modern world and listen to its ancient whispers. And for that reason, I need you to stay with me through this entire journey. This is more than just a presentation of facts, it's a reawakening to a different way of thinking about your health. Because at the very end, I'm not just going to leave you with fascinating information. I'm going to give you the exact daily ritual, the simple, step-by-step method to integrate this natural wonder into your life, starting today. This final piece is the key that unlocks everything we're about to discuss, and you truly, genuinely don't want to miss it. It's where knowledge becomes transformation. Ancient secret are. There are truths in this world, deep, foundational truths that have been whispered through generations, passed down from healer to healer, mother to daughter, father to son. These are not secrets kept in locked vaults or written in cryptic code. They are secrets hidden in the open, growing in our backyards, lining our city streets, waiting patiently for us to remember their power. They are the living library of our planet, and for a time, we seem to have forgotten how to read the language. We live in an incredible age of technological miracles, of breathtaking pharmaceutical breakthroughs and complex surgical procedures that save lives every single day. And in our justifiable rush toward this gleaming future, we have somehow, almost accidentally, forgotten the profound wisdom of the past. We've been conditioned to look for answers in a sterile lab, under a microscope, in a synthesized pill, instead of in the rich, living soil beneath our feet. But what if the most powerful solutions weren't invented in the last decade, but were simply rediscovered? What if they were waiting for us all along? Today, we are rediscovering one of those very secrets. We are pulling back the veil on a tree that ancient cultures didn't just respect or use, they revered it. They saw it as a sacred gift. In the ancient traditions of Ayurveda from India, a system of medicine that has thrived for over 5,000 years, it was known as shigru, a plant of immense and versatile power, used for everything from supporting digestion to promoting clarity of mind and fortifying the body against disease. It was a cornerstone of vitality. In parts of Africa, this same tree has been a bedrock of nourishment and medicine for millennia, so integral to survival and health that it's often called the never-die tree. This name comes from its incredible resilience, its ability to thrive in the harshest of conditions and to sustain life where little else can grow. I'm talking about Moringa oleifera. You may have heard it called the miracle tree. And I want to be clear, that name isn't hyperbole or a marketing slogan. It is a testament, earned over centuries, to its incredible density of life-giving nutrients and its astonishing array of potent medicinal compounds. This journey we're on today isn't about folklore or quaint stories from the past. This is about a powerful convergence, a place where ancient, time-tested wisdom and cutting-edge modern scientific validation meet and shake hands. For countless generations, people knew that this leaf worked. They didn't need the language of polyphenols, glucosinolates, or isothiocyanates. Their proof was in the living results they saw with their own eyes. They saw their elders remain sharp and strong. They saw their children grow healthy on its nourishment. They saw their communities remain vibrant. They understood through direct, undeniable experience that this tree was a deep wellspring of vitality. Now, today, our science is finally catching up to their wisdom, and the findings are nothing short of breathtaking. We are now isolating the very compounds that these ancient healers knew of intuitively. We are mapping the precise biochemical pathways through which they perform their miracles within the human body. We are finally understanding the how behind the what that they have known for so long. The great tragedy is that this profound knowledge became siloed, pushed to the margins. It was categorized as traditional medicine or folk remedy, terms that in the fast-paced modern world often carry an unfortunate and deeply dismissive connotation. It was brushed aside in favor of patentable, synthesized molecules that could be standardized and sold. The power was always there, pulsing with life in the leaves of this tree, but the mainstream simply stopped looking for it. The secret was never truly lost. We just stopped listening. This exploration isn't about rejecting the marvels of modern medicine, it's about integration. It's about creating a more complete and holistic picture of health, one that honors the incredible advancements of science while also embracing the profound natural intelligence of the world around us. It's about remembering that the old ways and the new ways don't have to be in conflict. They can and should work together. Today, we start listening again, with open minds and curious hearts. Sugar Shield. Let's talk about one of the most pervasive, frustrating, and exhausting battles many of us face every single day: the relentless roller coaster of blood sugar. It's a silent struggle that happens deep within our cells, yet it loudly dictates our energy levels, our moods, our ability to focus, our cravings, and ultimately, the trajectory of our long-term health. It's the invisible puppeteer pulling the strings of our daily well-being. We're often told it's a simple equation of calories in, calories out, or sugar in, insulin out. But the reality is far more nuanced, and our bodies are infinitely more intelligent than that simple math suggests. The core problem isn't just the presence of sugar in our diet, but our body's compromised, exhausted ability to manage it effectively. This is precisely where the quiet genius of the moringa leaf comes into play, not as a sledgehammer, but as an elegant, intelligent, and multi-layered shield. Imagine the food you eat, particularly the carbohydrates and sugars, breaking down and preparing to enter your bloodstream. In a system that's been thrown out of balance, this happens like a flash flood after a storm, a sudden and overwhelming deluge. Your pancreas, the unsung hero of your metabolic system, is forced to work overtime, pumping out wave after wave of insulin to try and manage the crisis. Over time, your cells, bombarded by this constant signal, start to become resistant. It's like a person trying to sleep next to a blaring fire alarm. Eventually, you tune it out to survive. This is insulin resistance, the very root of so many metabolic issues. Moringa doesn't try to build a dam to stop the river. It fundamentally changes the flow. It contains a remarkable compound called chlorogenic acid, the very same substance that gets a lot of attention in green coffee beans. But here it works in beautiful concert with a whole symphony of other phytonutrients unique to the leaf. This synergy is crucial. This chlorogenic acid, once in your gut, does something truly brilliant. It gently and naturally slows down the absorption of glucose from your intestines into your bloodstream. Think of it as a wise and patient gatekeeper, ensuring that sugar doesn't burst through the gates all at once. Instead of a chaotic flood, you get a gentle, steady, manageable stream. This simple act of slowing things down is profoundly powerful. It gives your hardworking pancreas a much-needed break. It prevents those dramatic, damaging spikes in blood sugar that inevitably lead to equally dramatic energy crashes, brain fog, and the relentless, gnawing cravings for more sugar. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your own energy and your own appetite, rather than being a passenger on your blood sugar's chaotic ride. It's a subtle shift with massive cascading benefits throughout your entire system. But the shield works on another, even deeper level, far beyond the gut. The incredible array of compounds in moringa seems to speak directly to your cells in a language they understand. The astonishing concentration of antioxidants and specific flavonoids like quercetin and kaempferol works to actively improve insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. This means your cells, which had been tuning out the alarm, start to listen to insulin's message again. Picture the door to your cells, a door that allows glucose to enter and be converted into life-giving energy. In a state of insulin resistance, that door is stuck, almost rusted shut. Moringa's compounds help to oil the hinges. The door begins to open more easily again, allowing glucose to move out of the bloodstream where it causes damage and into the cells where it can be used for fuel, exactly as nature intended. This isn't a magic trick or an artificial cure. It is a fundamental biological assist. It is providing your body with the precise raw materials it needs to remember how to perform its own miracles. It is helping your own internal systems to gently recalibrate and rediscover their natural, healthy, and harmonious equilibrium once more. Vessel cleanse. Now let's move from the flow of sugar to the flow of life itself, your blood, and more importantly, the intricate, miraculous network of highways that carries it to every single cell in your body. I'm talking about your arteries, veins, and capillaries. Over 60,000 miles of them, if you laid them end to end. The health, flexibility, and clarity of these vessels is absolutely paramount to your vitality. When they become stiff, inflamed, and clogged with plaque, it's like a citywide, permanent traffic jam that prevents vital oxygen and nutrients from reaching their destinations. This is the insidious story of arterial plaque, a process so often simplified and misunderstood. For decades, we've been trained to fear cholesterol, and specifically LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol. But this narrative is incomplete. LDL itself isn't the villain of the story. It's more like a neutral delivery truck carrying essential fats and nutrients around the body. The real danger begins when that LDL particle becomes damaged or oxidized by unstable molecules known as free radicals. An oxidized LDL particle is no longer a smooth delivery truck. It becomes like a piece of jagged, rusty shrapnel. It's inflammatory and it aggressively injures the delicate, single-cell thick inner lining of your blood vessels, a layer called the endothelium. This initial injury is the spark that ignites the entire plaque-forming cascade. Your body's immune system, seeing the damage, sends in a cleanup crew of macrophages to deal with the problem. But in a body that is in a state of chronic inflammation, this natural repair process goes haywire. The cleanup crew becomes overwhelmed, engulfing the oxidized LDL and transforming into what are called foam cells, which get trapped in the artery wall. This creates a sticky, fatty, dangerous lesion that grows over time, narrowing your arteries, making them stiff, and setting the stage for disaster. The key, then, is not just to obsessively lower cholesterol, but to protect it from being damaged in the first place. This is where moringa's superpower truly shines. The leaf is an antioxidant powerhouse, absolutely flooded with protective compounds like quercetin, beta-carotene, zeatin, and a robust profile of vitamin C. These aren't just abstract nutrients. They are your body's personal elite security detail. They tirelessly patrol your bloodstream and neutralize those volatile free radicals before they can inflict their damaging blows on the LDL particles. They form a protective, invisible shield around the cholesterol, keeping it stable, smooth, and harmless as it goes about its necessary and important work in the body. By preventing that crucial first step, the initial oxidative damage, you are cutting the entire problem off at the source. You are preventing the very first spark that would have ignited the dangerous inflammatory fire within the walls of your arteries. It's an act of profound biological foresight. It's proactive, it's preventative, and it is deeply, deeply intelligent. It addresses the root cause, not just the symptom. Furthermore, the potent anti-inflammatory properties of moringa, which we will explore even more deeply in a moment, have a direct and profound soothing effect on the endothelial lining itself. Chronic, low-grade inflammation makes these delicate vessel walls sticky, irritated, and prone to injury. The isothiocyanates and flavonoids in moringa help to calm this systemic fire, making the arteries themselves smoother, more flexible, and far less likely to trap passing debris and accumulate plaque. It also supports the liver, the master organ of detoxification and cholesterol metabolism. By providing the liver with the high-quality nutrients it needs to function optimally, you are helping your body's own natural vessel cleanse system to work as it was brilliantly designed. You are not harshly scrubbing your arteries. You are creating the ideal internal environment where they can gently and naturally cleanse and repair themselves over time. Let's be honest with each other for a moment. For so many of us, the most visible, tangible, and emotionally frustrating sign that something is wrong inside is that stubborn fat that accumulates around our midsection. We call it belly fat. But the real, insidious enemy is the fat that you can't even see or pinch, the visceral fat. This is not the soft, subcutaneous fat that lies just under the skin. This is a deep, metabolically active, and genuinely dangerous type of fat that wraps itself around your most vital organs, your liver, your intestines, your heart, and your pancreas. It's critical to understand that this fat isn't just a passive storage depot for excess calories, it's an active endocrine organ, and a rogue one at that. What it produces and pumps into your system 24/7 is a constant low-grade drip of inflammatory signals called cytokines. These are the chemical messengers of inflammation, and they wreak havoc on your entire body. This is precisely why visceral fat is so tightly and dangerously linked to the very issues we've just discussed: rampant insulin resistance and cardiovascular problems. It's the central hub of metabolic chaos. The absolute key to understanding and defeating visceral fat is to stop seeing it as a simple fat problem and start seeing it for what it truly is: an inflammation problem. This deep-seated fat is both a cause and a profound consequence of chronic systemic inflammation. It locks you into a terrifyingly vicious cycle. The initial inflammation in your body encourages your system to store energy as this dangerous visceral fat. And then the fat itself becomes a factory, churning out even more inflammatory molecules, which in turn perpetuates and deepens the cycle. This is why traditional dieting and exercise can feel like such a demoralizing, uphill battle. You are fighting against your own body's inflamed chemistry. You simply cannot outrun or outdiet a body that is perpetually on fire from the inside out. The very first, non-negotiable step, therefore, must be to calm that internal fire. You have to turn down the heat before you can expect the body to change its behavior. Moringa is, without question, one of nature's most potent and intelligent anti-inflammatory agents. Its primary power in this arena comes from a unique and powerful class of compounds called isothiocyanates, which are also found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale, but are particularly concentrated and bioavailable in moringa leaves. These remarkable compounds work at a deep, cellular level to literally switch off the master inflammation generating signals in your body, like the NFKB pathway. Think of it like finding the main thermostat for a furnace that's been stuck on high, blasting heat throughout your entire house. Moringa's compounds help you gently turn that thermostat down to a normal, healthy level. As this systemic inflammation begins to subside, the entire metabolic environment of your body begins to shift. The constant blaring alarm signals quiet down. Your body can finally shift out of constant crisis mode and back into a state of balance, healing, and repair. Once that inflammatory noise is significantly reduced, your metabolism can finally reboot itself. With the fire calmed, your body becomes far less inclined to store incoming energy as dangerous visceral fat. More importantly, it becomes much more capable of accessing that fat that's already been stored and using it for fuel. The hormonal signals related to fat burning, like adiponectin, which is often suppressed by inflammation, begin to function more effectively. Simultaneously, the signals related to fat storage, primarily driven by insulin and the stress hormone cortisol, become less dominant. This is the true mechanism by which moringa helps to melt belly fat. It's not by magically incinerating calories or boosting your metabolism in an artificial way. It works by fundamentally changing the underlying inflammatory conditions and the hormonal environment that caused the fat to accumulate and become trapped in the first place. It's a profound paradigm shift. You stop attacking the fat, and instead you create an internal environment where that dangerous fat is no longer necessary, allowing your body to finally, willingly let it go. It's the ultimate shift from fighting your body to working in beautiful partnership with it. Knowledge is powerful, but knowledge without consistent action is just trivia. It's a map you never use to navigate. We've journeyed through the ancient wisdom that revered this leaf, and we've explored the modern science that validates it. We've seen how this one incredible plant can help shield your body from the ravages of high blood sugar, gently purify your vital vessels, and calm the inflammatory fire that builds dangerous belly fat. But none of that matters if you don't know how to bring this profound power into your own life, simply and effectively. So right here, right now, we are going to turn all of this knowledge into a living, breathing practice. We're going to build your daily ritual, and I want you to see this not as another chore, another task on your overwhelming to-do list, but as a simple, profound, and loving act of self-care. This is a moment in your day carved out just for you, where you are consciously choosing to partner with nature to reclaim the vitality that is your birthright. The simplest, most accessible, and most traditional way to consume moringa is as a nourishing tea. You can certainly use fresh leaves if you are lucky enough to have a tree growing nearby, but for the vast majority of us, a high-quality organic moringa leaf powder is the most practical and potent option. The process is beautiful in its elegant simplicity. Start by gently heating your water. The key here is not to bring it to a full raging boil, as excessively high temperatures can degrade some of the delicate phytonutrients and enzymes. You want it hot, but not scorching, just hot enough to create a beautiful steep. Now, here is the most important piece of advice. Start slow. Moringa is potent, and your body needs time to adjust. Begin with just half a teaspoon of the vibrant green powder in your favorite mug. Pour the hot water over the powder, stir it well to dissolve any clumps, and then simply let it steep for about 5 to 7 minutes. As it infuses, you will notice the water turning a rich emerald green. You'll see the earthy, slightly grassy aroma rise up to meet you. This is nature at work. As your tea steeps, take a moment. This is your ritual. This is not something to be rushed. Inhale the aroma. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hands. This is you, actively and intentionally participating in your own well-being. This is a moment of peace and purpose. The tea itself has a unique flavor, often described as similar to matcha or fresh spinach. Some people love its earthy character right away, while others find it takes a little getting used to. Don't be afraid to make this ritual entirely your own. A small squeeze of fresh lemon can beautifully brighten the flavor and add a synergistic dose of vitamin C. A tiny dollop of raw, local honey can balance the earthiness and provide its own soothing properties. A thin slice of fresh ginger or a sprinkle of Ceylon cinnamon can add warmth and their own complementary health benefits, further enhancing the anti-inflammatory and blood sugar balancing effects. The goal is to create a nourishing elixir that you genuinely enjoy, something your body and soul look forward to each day. This isn't a bitter medicine to be choked down. It's a life-giving brew to be savored. Experiment and find the combination that makes you feel wonderful. The best time of day for this ritual is typically in the morning or early afternoon. Because moringa is so densely packed with nutrients, it can have a gentle, clarifying, and energizing effect. It's a wonderful replacement for that second or third cup of coffee that often leads to jitters and a later crash. Moringa provides a clean, clear, sustained energy that feels completely different. It nourishes you rather than just stimulating you. As your body becomes comfortable with half a teaspoon, you can gradually increase your daily amount to a full, level teaspoon. The most important thing is to listen to your body. It is always your ultimate guide. And you can get creative. The powder can be blended into a green smoothie with banana and spinach, whisked into a bowl of Greek yogurt with berries, or even sprinkled over a savory soup or a salad dressing. The method is flexible. The consistency is what creates the magic. This small daily act of intention, repeated over time, is what allows these profound changes to take root, to grow, and to blossom within you. It's the steady, gentle rain that eventually saturates the soil and brings forth new life. This isn't just about one leaf. It's about a fundamental and empowering shift in your perspective. It's about remembering that you are not a passive victim of your genetics, your age, or your circumstances. You have the power to participate actively, consciously, and joyfully in your own healing journey. Nature provides the most incredible tools, an entire pharmacy growing all around us. But you provide the will. You provide the consistency. You provide the belief in your own body's innate and miraculous capacity for health. This is your first step. Not toward some magic fix or an unrealistic overnight cure, but toward reclaiming the vibrant, energetic, and joyful health that has always been and will always be your birthright. You are in control. You are in. This one leaf destroys diabetes, arterial plaque, and belly fat. I found this video at a time when I felt so completely lost and overwhelmed with my health. I had just gotten the pre-diabetic diagnosis. My cholesterol was creeping up for the third year in a row, and I just felt so tired, puffy, and inflamed all the time, like my body was fighting against me. I started making a simple moringa and fresh ginger tea every single morning. I told myself it wasn't a cure, but it was my one small, non-negotiable promise to myself for the day. It's been 3 months now, and the biggest change isn't even on my lab reports yet, though I go back in a month and I'm so hopeful. The real change is my energy. It's a clean, steady energy, not the frantic buzz of coffee. It's the feeling that I'm finally doing something for my body instead of just constantly worrying about it. This video explains the why behind what I'm feeling so perfectly. Thank you for giving me not just hope, but a real, actionable plan.